Hi everyone, welcome back to Paper Pioneer Live. We're here watching some action from our recent FNM with Mono Green playing Izzet Phoenix. John, welcome back. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's been a while. And did that guy just roll 10 to go first?
That's a good number.
That is massive to start with. And is it Phoenix player rolling 6 to start with? So
Well, bit unlucky really, because 6 is usually good. It's there halfway, but when you are a Proto competitor, as we do have on our right-hand side here, we have Ben Jones, as of known of the Proto and Magic Online results elsewhere. He's joined us tonight for a bit of the action. As far as his usual pet deck Izzet Phoenix, which he is on, how does it roll up against Mono Green, John, in general matchups?
I think it sort of depends on how it draws out. The Easy Phoenix player would want to try to take out the turn 1 elf as soon as possible, because just getting Mono Green off that tempo play would be ideal. But Mono Green could eventually ramp up into sort of reach blockers, which could stop sort of the Izzet Phoenix plans. And we see a Fiery Impulse taking out the turn 1 elf, and I think this is what I was talking about. You just try to take the Mono Green deck off tempo a bit, slow them down as much as possible.
Bit harder with Sylvan Carriad on the field, though. The hexproof creature will provide mana and ramp them up to 4 very, very quickly. That early game played out exactly as we hoped and thought. There was a lightning axe actually on that first turn, a little bit of a visual error there, but did the job all the same. And we've got an old Ghost Troll here on turn 3. They look like they missed their land drop, which is a bit disappointing because they did have Karn and would have been straight rolling. All we saw from the Izzet player was attack and pass.
So this could entail counterspell magic going on. But Mono Green missing land drops is also not abnormal. They don't actually run that many land drops because of the amount of ramp that they inherently have.
True, and they were trying to get Wolf of Haven down there. Did get his spell pierced, and then Oafen Nissa, trying to look for again, some more lands. Yeah, there we go. There is the third land drop. So we will be looking at a Karn next turn, most likely, whilst we get in for 4 with Old Growth Troll. This is probably the gas turn, though, right? For the Izzet Phoenix player. Sleight of hand first and foremost. They take a look at 2 cards, taking one to hand, put another on the bottom of the library. They get in that full library, but we have Treasure Cruises Ahoy. Is that 2 Treasure Cruises there already in the graveyard? I see. I think so.
I think it's more of a decision based on.
Oh, there's the third.
Oh wow, okay.
There's the third.
I was about to say he probably has quite a few Treasure Cruises, which would lead to the decision for him to discard them, because
absolutely
he needs to get Phoenixes in the yard, and they're probably, like, as always, in the bottom of the deck, not doing much use. But we now have a turn pass back, and then I don't really think the Izzet Phoenix player is in an advantageous position. It's tapped out, which opens the gates for Karn. And what would the Mono Green player be searching? Maybe Tormund's Crypt? Get that Izzet Phoenix player off the yard?
No, went to go and get a Treasure Vault.
All right. I guess the land drops also really matter here. But I don't know. I think if you have, like... Oh, it looks like he attacked with a carrier there. I would think, like, just getting something to deal with the graveyard early, just make the Izzet Phoenix player... Because game 1, Izzet Phoenix is fully on that Phoenix plan, right? You can't really sideboard out against the anti-graveyard tech in game 1.
No, for sure. We're going to see a charter course. Fully signed up deck as well. You got to love to see it. Like, full artist signatures on some of the signature pieces.
That was not a charter course.
Oh, no, it was not a charter course. It was a pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah. Oh, whoever edited this video, I swear, man.
Rusty today on our first day back, but
I know.
And looking to up through. Do we have any Phoenixes in the bin?
No, doesn't seem like it yet. But trying to grow trying to grow the Ledger Shredder. Now, this is an alternate win condition. Galvanic Iteration has flashback, so it still is useful even from the yard, and it can be very good. Sort of like, it turns your Lava Axes into 1 mana, discard 1 card, but you can hit 2 things for 5. It could turn sort of cantrip spells into 1 mana draw 2s. Well, 4 mana draw 2s with the Galvanic Iteration, but it also counts towards the spell count, which is important. Sometimes Izzet Phoenix decks kind of run out of gas if they don't draw well. Galvanic Iteration having flashback gives it the option of being that third spell if needed.
What do you get here? Unlicensed Hearse?
Okay. Unlicensed Hearse is not a bad shout. It's Graveyard Hate, which in this position, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah,
the Izzet Phoenix deck is, yeah. The Izzet Phoenix deck is slightly a little bit slow here, really. Able to counter or spell pierce the Hearse before it resolves.
Yeah.
I actually don't think there's a Tormund's Crypt in this mono green. Great.
No, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look the way they've gone about this sideboard. The beatdown continues, but that was actually huge, really, stopping that unlicensed Hearse, because there is still threats ahoy from the Phoenix players. 5 mana, plenty of cantripping. There's a lot of things that can be done here. I guess we might be in Temporal Traspers range as far as how much we've gone through the deck. I can't actually see it in hand, but at any point here, ripping off a Temporal Trespass, growing the Shredder a little bit, and by that time, surely getting 2 or 3 Phoenixes. It could even just be game, just there and then. All right, well, that deals with the troll, or starts to deal with the troll at least.
Deals 3 damage to start with.
Yeah.
1 toughness left.
And
there is a Phoenix.
Oh, there's the Temporal Trespass, as we were saying. So that's actually now, we've got 7 power and toughness hitting the board in total.
Yeah, it will put the Phoenixes online, but it also, importantly, gives the Phoenix player another turn. So they can take care of the Khan, also deal a bit of damage to face, and then have another turn to sort of generate any more advantage they can.
Do you really even bother taking care of the Khan? Like, I think you're so far through your deck, and you've got like 6 mana to play with. You've actually even got Hold of the Storm Giants. This is win. This is game. Untap and get a land drop in game.
Oh, that is true. That is true. And does the mono green players see it? No, they're gonna play it out.
No, they're gonna see it. I'm not too sure if that land was a rip off the top. It was taken to hand. You know, Ben's a pro. He knows how to sort of disguise those things. But you have to see it, right? You have to see it before you let it go. Any thoughts on sideboarding, John? Anything you do, because I know you like a bit of Izzet yourself. What you might do in the any player's shoes here?
I mean, there's some pretty fancy cards that could come in. There's the one that counters specifically red or green cards. There is...
Or change the equation?
Change the equation, that's it. Fairly new card. That could possibly come in. Thing in the Ice, which exists in some Izzet Phoenix sideboards as a tech against sort of Graveyard Hate style decks, could come in. It could also deal with sort of the bigger creatures on the board, just bounce them all back to hand, reset the devotion. And also you end up with a 7/8 on the board. I mean, if you're going to play a lot of spells anyway, it's just another good creature, good card to sort of take advantage of that. And
yeah, it's a slow start though. A slow start. Only L's going ahead. There was a very little sideboard. I know we speed up the sideboarding process just to keep the videos flowing, but no 1 mana removals. Letting the elves hang around, getting Shredder online. We are seeing Cavalier Thorns. That change, well, like we said, changes the equation as far as attacking in the air. An effective blocker, a really beefy blocker. Oopsie daisy. Just fixing a little deck error there.
Yeah, I believe
that card sort of fell off, and they're just discussing how do you want to manage this, which
Yeah.
I guess
Bear
they
in mind-
decided to shuffle.
Bear in mind, this is F&M. We play every Friday at Firestone Games. There's links in the description for how you can potentially join us or even help or support the channel. But we're just really having good fun and learning the game as we go. Say we've got a proto competitor here, comes down and joins us often. Yeah, also good set of people having fun playing Magic as you want.
Yeah, but that turn 3 Cavalier Thorns is going to be a thorn on the Izzet Phoenix player's side. A 5/6 blocker with reach. And he could eventually grow the Shredder into something big enough to deal with it, but in the meantime, that thing could potentially be swinging for 5. And with the amount of elves on the board, cards like Spell Pierce are just that much less effective. And tapping out to play pieces of the puzzle, he is aware of the green flashback card in the graveyard that can look at the top 6 and add 2 more 5-drops or less from the yard, or from the top 6. Sorry, I forget what it's called.
Sure. So like the festival is gonna get stormed, and there's gonna be lots coming out here. There's still a little bit of a roll of the dice because there's not like perfectly amazing hits every single time.
It is a bit, but you sort of when you build your deck full of gas, you tend to hit a bit of gas. Oh, never mind, just Khan.
Well, Khan on a land is probably one of the more underwhelming sequences you can get here, isn't it? You could get Cavalier into Khan, you could get Khan into, you could get Nykthos into Kiora, into Khan, or, there's lots of different things that can be done here. Looking through the sideboard, we're back on the Hearst plan. That is going to resolve. There's going to be a Connive.
There's a Spell Pierce.
They had a Spell Pierce for that, which does suck. He's asking why is it on 12? Very much so. How has your loyalty got to 12 all of a sudden?
Well, Khan is like he's just been loyal since day 1, see? So
I know. Hashtag ban Khan in the chat, right? That's the sort of
100%.
So sitting back and thinking, what am I going to do with Unlicensed Hearst? There is a Phoenix there sitting in the graveyard. Watch the camera, please, players. You are knocking it over. But interested to see where we go with this. This is quite a lockdown board state. I think the ideal would be in a turn or two to set up some kind of thing in the ice. Thing in the ice, cantrip spell, bounce everything, right? Because I don't think you're fighting through this board. I think you have to remove this board. And let's see how Ben goes ahead.
In the meantime, though, that is a 5/6 clock, and there is thing in the ice, but we in response to the cast, it's going for the Phoenix. The mono green player's got to go for Phoenix and another card. But we saw Ben discard a Spell Pierce. Is what I'm saying. Like, the mana at this point is so much
that Spell Pierce has kind of lost its effectiveness as an answer.
Absolutely.
Like, it could be also down to the fact that this was the turn order. The fact that the mono green player got to go first meant that it opened the gates for like that turn 1 elf, turn 2 elf, and with Ben not being able to deal with the elves early on quick enough, it just sort of allowed this turn 3 play of Cavalier of Thorns. And Thing in the Ice is in play, but Ben is on 15. I know it's not showing on the phone, but he did write it down. But he did take the 5 from Cavalier of Thorns. So I'm not entirely sure if Ben could probably take another hit, and the sequence of cards then that would have to come out would have to be fairly good.
Yes, well, good positives there. Buff the Ledger Shredder, took one off the Thing in the Ice. A 4th land is, there it is at least. Shocking in the Steam vent. So I wonder if this is keeping open for Spell Pierce to Storm the Festival, possibly. going at the Khan. That's the right decision. You don't want them to go and get any other little fiddly pieces in play. So, what do you? Mono green just goes, right. I don't think I don't think they've got really much counterplay to the thing in the ice flipping. I think they have to almost take their fate. Yeah, maybe build up a return board. I think I like this play. Wolf Willow Haven in. Realizing if I restorm the festival, I'm just gonna it's very possible there's just a bounce next turn.
Yeah. And another card that maybe it's a very like fringe card, but the mono green player could, for a laugh, maybe have like a ram through to deal with the thing in the ice. It would work well with the Cavalier of Thorns.
This is locals. You do see some meta calls, right? Whilst the Unlicensed Hearst is taking 2 more important removal pieces. At the moment, they're basically gas for the treasure cruise, which means that the cruise is definitely stuck in the mud. There is a tap for consider to take the thing in the ice down. So put in the Phoenix in the graveyard. Gets to untap. No, so like I tell you, it's a surprising ordering of using the Unlicensed Hearst on their own turn and not on the opponent's turn. Has now left the Phoenix in the bin. We could see more Phoenixes. This could, from 20 playing 6 on a dominant board state, this could be all over.
This could completely change, and that's what Thing in the Ice is really there for. And another opt, just sort of try to fix the hand in like what he saw on top. If you can cast 2 more spells, you cast 1 more spell, add another thing in the yard.
Yeah.
But if the mono green player, he does have 5 mana available, he can just replay the Cavalier of Thorns.
Yep.
And the other thing to consider as well is, yes, it's getting bounced back, but Hearst is still on the board, and that's quite crewable. If the mono green player is able to make that big enough, it could be a real threat to the Izzy Phoenix deck. And because they are on 6, I don't think they can actually attack with the 7/8.
Oh, a temporal trespass.
Oh, never mind. All right, that's 14 damage. They can attack at least once.
A Phoenix
Actually, no, that's twice.
That's twice.
Yeah, it's 10 and 10.
That's twice for 10. That's game.
That's
game. Out of nowhere, that's game. Wow.
It's like you said, Dave, that timing on the Hearst might have been the downfall there for the mono green player.
Well, ultimately is what cost them the game, but we get the foresight to watching this back, seeing every move from the top level. But that's how you get the job done. Congratulations to Ben. Good luck at the upcoming Pro Tour in Chicago. We'll have more games here on the channel. We're back to a good schedule now. Any last thoughts on the game, John?
Well, it was pretty good. I love seeing blue-red decks win.
And that'll do for now. Thanks very much, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. From Old Emo Dave, from John. We'll see you soon.
Bye.